How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. So the markets had a great day today. The S&P went up 0.5%, the Dow went up 0.2%, the NASDAQ 100 went up almost 1%, and we saw the Russell go up 0.4%. So today we're going to break down the market, some charts, stocks I'm looking at right now, and in general how I'm navigating this market. So sit back, relax, go down below, get your 2 stocks from Webull. All you have to do is use my link, deposit $100, and we each get 2 stocks valued up to $1,600. And if you want to, you could also check out my Patreon. All of those are linked right down below. And with that being said, let's get right into the video, guys. Going over SPY as we do every video in the beginning of the video, and this ended up breaking out of not only the 50 SMA yesterday, but today we broke the 180 SMA, and we are seeing the EMA crossing above the 180 SMA, which is a very bullish indicator. And we took out the lower high resistance here, which is a very good sign overall as well. And we broke out of the high point from the 17th of June, which probably, what day was that? Was that Thursday? Yeah, that was on Thursday. So these are very good signs that SPY is out of the little short-term not even a correction, guys. The short-term little drop we saw, during that whole Fed meeting fiasco last week, when we saw SPY go from 426 down to about 412. In that period, it lost about 3%. And yeah, we're out of that downtrend by the looks of it, guys, especially because, like I said, we broke out of the high from Thursday, which was at about 423. And if you guys pull up the intraday chart here, well, if I pull up the intraday chart, you guys can see 424 was hit, which obviously is higher than 423. So by the looks of it, we are headed higher, and there's one key resistance left between us here and all-time highs, and that level is right around $424.50. That was a sticking point on the 10th of June, the 11th, and the 12th. Or actually, no, that was the 14th a little bit, and on the 16th. So needless to say, if we break 424.50, 425, we are going most likely right back up to all-time highs and pulling up QQQ here. Did this hit all-time highs today? Oh, yes, it did, guys. It sure did. It hit $348.04, and the previous all-time high was $346.30 roughly, and that was hit back on the 17th of June, just 5 calendar days ago. And by the looks of it, the ascending triangle played out. We held higher lows yesterday and even today pre-market, and we used that as a launching pad to break out of not only 345 but also 346, that previous all-time high, to get to where we are now, again, a fresh, brand new all-time high. And we got some news in terms of Jerome Powell testifying, and quite honestly, it's not really news. I mean, he said a lot of the same old stuff that he always has been saying over the past couple of months. I mean, he blamed much of the increased inflation on bottlenecks that have developed with the economy reopening. He cited a quote-unquote perfect storm of very strong demand and weak supply, end quote. And although he acknowledged, quote-unquote, these effects have been larger than we expected, he also said they don't speak to a broadly tight economy. And he also said, on top of that, we will not raise interest rates preemptively because we fear the possible onset of inflation. We will wait for evidence of actual inflation. So in other words, he's still sticking to the inflation is transitory, and he's going to wait for actual evidence of it and other imbalances. And Powell said in a hearing, he pretty much said all of this in a hearing that was before the U.S. House of Representatives panels. So a lot of the same stuff. I mean, nothing crazy, nothing new, nothing out of the ordinary. And the markets took this stuff and they ran with it. I mean, like I said, QQQ all-time highs, SPY within a stone's throw distance from all-time highs. Who knows? I mean, we might hit those tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if we did hit them tomorrow or some point this week. And I'd love to know what you guys have to think. Let me know down below in the comments, and make sure to smash that like button if you guys are enjoying the video. And if you guys do enjoy the content in general, it means a lot to me and it helps me out overall in the YouTube algorithm if you do hit that good old, the juicy old like button. So let's talk about some stocks now. Number one, I want to update everybody on AMC, what I'm personally seeing right now. And we actually bounced back today, up 4.5%, a little bit over 4.5%. And we closed above $58. And now in the after hour session, we're trading a little bit over $58, pretty much right where we ended up closing the day. And this is a pretty good sign. I mean, look, on the hourly chart, we held a higher low at $52. And mind you, we were taking a beating earlier in the day. I mean, AMC was at what, $51. So it covered a ton of ground from that low to where it closed, about $7, about 12%, which is a pretty big move, even for a meme stock or whatever you want to call it, like AMC. I mean, 12% is a pretty big move. And we also, on top of holding a higher low and bouncing, we broke above the 180 moving average here on the 20-day chart, and we're about to break above, keyword about, and we might not, who knows, but as of now, we close under the 50 moving average, and we have to break it, whether it's tomorrow, the next day, next week, who knows? But all I do know is for this trend to continue, for AMC to see another breakout, what we need is the 50 SMA to break. Also, we need the wedge to break right around $60, $61. And quite honestly, we need some volume, guys. Volume has been dying down over the past couple of days. I mean, today was less than yesterday, which was less than the previous day of trading, which was less than the previous day of trading. So volume's dying down a bit. You guys can see it right here, right around my arrow. So if we get a pickup in volume tomorrow, the next day, whenever it does end up happening, right, we end up squeezing out of those levels that I mentioned, this could very well be on the next leg up, the leg up that we need to see for a breakout. That could very well be what is in store, and we have to wait, and we have to be patient, and we'll probably see some pre-market activity. And you guys in my Patreon, I mean, we'll cover this in the morning. We cover AMC pretty much every single day to keep an eye on it. So that's AMC. Etsy is stock number 2. ETSY is the ticker on this one, guys. And this exploded today. Excuse me. Up over $7, up 4.2%. And what we're noticing, not only on the, you can't really see it on the hourly chart, but on the 4-hour chart, what we're noticing is about a month and a half of consolidation and a slow, well, it's not really consolidation. It's kind of a slow uptrend that's been forming. We found a bottom in the beginning of May at about 156, and ever since that point, we've been slowly making higher highs, higher lows, all that good stuff. And today, we squeezed out, like I said, up 4%. We squeezed above the 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart. And now we're not quite out of the woods yet, but we are starting to approach the wedge resistance, which I believe if we break 185, this could end up seeing a big pop, whether it's back to 200, 205, 195. I believe there is going to be upside. So I'm going to put an alert at 185 here on Etsy, and that's another key spot, not only because of the wedge that we talked about, but also 185 was support all throughout January, February, March, into April as well, and even in the beginning of May. So the fact that we failed holding 185 as support, it became resistance. So if we take out this level, 185, watch out for a nice move in Etsy. And does it go back to 250 over time? It surely can. I'm not sure if it will, and I'm not going to bank on it in the short term. But what I will bank on is if we break 185 in the short term, do we go to 190, 195, 200? Yes, I believe that is extremely possible, and that is why I put my alert at 185. And we also saw Peloton today, which I get a lot of flack on. Well, not really. I mean, some of you guys agree with me, and I'd love to know in the comments. You know, Peloton is one that I don't necessarily love as a long-term investment. I mean, I rather invest in something else rather than something like Peloton. I'd rather just throw my money in Google or Amazon or something like that. But hey, to each their own. You know, Peloton could very well be a great long-term investment. But for me, I'm looking at it more as a swing trade, and I called this out a couple of videos ago, probably about 2 weeks ago actually, so more than a couple of videos ago, but we called out the ascending triangle that was forming here. Ever since the beginning of May, we've been making higher lows, all that good stuff, right? And we've been struggling at about 114, 115 bucks ever since the end of May. So pretty much for the past couple of weeks, we've struggled at 114. And look, we finally squeezed out of that point. Today we went up over 8%, up about $9 per share. And look, this is interesting because after this resistance point that we just broke out of, now the ascending triangle, now that it's playing out, we're on a one-way ticket, in my opinion, in the short term at least. And sure, I could be wrong, but by the looks of it, we're going straight to the mid-120s, which was that high point from the beginning of April. So keep that in mind, guys. And yes, we are a little overbought. No doubt about it. RSI is over 70. So don't be surprised if we consolidate a bit. I mean, this would be ideal, quite honestly, if we consolidated a bit above 115 and then slowly found our way back to the, to the mid 120s. Like I said, that would be ideal. But if we broke under 115 and started going down to 105, low 100s, that wouldn't necessarily be ideal. So I'm thinking Peloton, as long as it remains above 115, it's in play to the mid 120s, high 120s. That is what I'm thinking as of now. And we had Netflix do well today as well. Ticker symbol NFLX. This one up almost 2.5%. And it hit my one alert. If you guys recall, I had a $510 alert on Netflix, and I obviously have one right here at 520, which didn't hit, and we hit the 510 one today. We closed a little bit over 508, or actually pretty close to 509. We closed at 508.82 today, and I'm not too convinced that we're fully breaking out yet, which is why I did set 2 alerts, and I do want to see 520 break. And if 520 were to break, that is where I believe we'll fill the gap to the mid 500s, 550, 555, 560, which was that high point in the middle of April towards the end of April. And you guys can see these 3 ovals right here. We have an inverse head and shoulder. We have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder right here. And if 520 breaks, that's pretty much where that right shoulder will start to get to the point where it completes at about 550, 560, like I said. So watch out for Netflix, ticker symbol NFLX. And we also had NNDM today. What a day, guys. I mean, today was pretty solid. We had Upwork up 11%, GameStop 10%, NNDM 6%, AMC up almost 5%. So a pretty solid day, at least in terms of my watch list. And NNDM is also, like Netflix, it's looking like an ascending, not an ascending, well, yeah, I guess you could also say, yes, that's true. Good thing I said that, even though I misspoke right there, because we are seeing an ascending triangle as well as an inverse head and shoulder. Look at this. We have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder right here. We have clear consolidation at about $8.50 over the past about month at this point, and we've been making higher lows into that resistance at $8.50 over the past almost 2 months at this point. So I feel like, look, if we break 850, hence my alert at 850, I'm thinking the inverse head and shoulder, the right shoulder is going to be panning out, whether it gets to about $10, $11, $12, that's yet to be determined, and the ascending triangle is going to be breaking out. So that's kind of a 2-in-1 there, which is awesome, and I believe this would be the ultimate breakout if 850 were to break. So watch out for NNDM. It's been beaten down. It's just been slammed, quite honestly, guys. And if we look on the 4-hour, it's been consolidating for the better part of 3 months, or more like 2 months, almost 3 months at this point. So in my opinion, this is getting ready for a move, and I'm probably going to nibble a little bit if it breaks 850. So watch out for that. We also had DraftKings today, which is my biggest swing position right now, go up 2.4%. We broke above the 180 SMA, and now we closed under the 50 SMA. We're about to test it, and in my opinion, we are going to break this point, and we're up even more after hours. You guys can see we closed at $50.16. Now we're at $50.53 after hours, and by the looks of it, this is a cup pattern. We found nice consolidation after that Hindenburg hit report, and it looks like it held it at a higher low at about $48 after that consolidation, and now we're breaking back up. So in my opinion, if we take out 51, I'm going to put an alert right there, that 50 SMA here on the 4-hour chart, this will fill the gap up to about $54 to about $55 per share, which is also a sticking point, but I believe this go around, and honestly, guys, I feel like DraftKings would have blew right through 55 if that Hindenburg report didn't come out. I mean, think about it. This was on a straight uptrend for about a month, and then the Hindenburg report came out, taking it from 56 to 45. If that never happened, I feel like DraftKings would be in the $60 level right now, or the high 50s at least. So this go around, now that we sold off, we recovered, we saw consolidation, we're breaking back up. Now that we saw all these different things, I feel like this go around, we're going to plow right through 55, and who knows, we might get to $60, $64, $65, which ultimately is my higher end target here on DraftKings. And the last stock for today is Urban Outfitters, guys. Ticker symbol URBN. This one up over 4.5% today, up over $1.70. And although it's not quite yet breaking out like I want it to, it's getting there. Let's put it that way. It's getting there. And now we're squeezing deeper and deeper into the wedge. As you all can see, we're making higher lows and lower highs at the same time. And with today's green day, we closed above not only the 50, but also the 180 moving average here on the 4-hour. So we're honestly 1 or 2 strong green days away from fully breaking out here on Urban Outfitters, right? So I believe if, let's say, we'll probably put it at 39.50. We'll put it at 39.50. If that's able to break, and I'm going to put an alert there, this could probably go over 40, probably to 42. And if I pull up the 3-year chart, I don't think this is at all-time highs. No, it's not. All-time highs probably in the 50. Let me pull up that 20-year chart. Yeah, all-time highs is at about $52 per share. So if we squeeze above that $40 level that I put my alert at, roughly $39.50, we fill the gap to 42, which was that high from the middle of March. We break 42. There is pretty much a wide open gap from $42 to about 50, 47, 52 per share. So I like Urban Outfitters here, but we have to be patient and we have to wait for that wedge resistance to break. So overall, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, drop a comment down below. Literally doing those 3 things, they're free and they help me out tremendously in the YouTube algorithm, and I do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in here. And if you do want to support the channel a bit further and of course get a bunch of exclusive perks, check out my Patreon. All you have to do, go down below, hit the link, check it out, or you can go to StockSurfS.com/Patreon. All my buys, my sells, call outs, morning update videos every day, all that good stuff is on there, and you get more access to me throughout the day. You know, I'm talking to people every single day over there on Patreon on the DM, so check that out. And don't forget to get your 2 stocks from Webull. They're literally free. All you have to do is, okay, yes, you do have to deposit $100, but But let me tell you how to get them for free, right? Deposit $100, and if you don't like Webull, you can take your 100 out, you keep your money, and you keep their money. 2 stocks valued up to $1,600. In my opinion, hey, that's a pretty good deal. Check that out. Link down below, and you can get $30 from M1 Finance, $10 from Coinbase, and yeah, I'll catch you all in the next video, which, oh, by the way, I made a video earlier talking about 4 other stocks I didn't mention in this video, so go check that out. I'll pop it up here. I'll also link it down below. I'll see you guys there. Thanks for tuning in again, as always. Keep crushing the market. Stay safe out there, guys. I'll catch you all in the next video.